Namaskaram to all viewers of Jyotirmarg. Dear viewers, in our last episode, we saw how the Pandavas built a city by name Indraprastha, which soon emerged as a rich and prosperous kingdom. One day, when the Pandava brothers were assembled in their royal court, the great Rishi Narada arrived there and accepted their respectful worship. Thereafter, that Rishi talked to the Pandava brothers in seclusion. Rishi Narada told them that it is necessary for them to establish and follow a code of conduct with regard to their relationship with Draupadi. The story of Sunda and Upasunda, said the Rishi, is an example of how a woman can be a cause of rivalry and destruction. Thereupon, Yudhishthira requested Narada to tell them about Sunda and Upasunda. Dear viewers, the story of Sunda and Upasunda is spread over 4 chapters in the original text, but we shall go through it in the briefest possible manner. Sunda and Upasunda were born as the sons of an asura by name Nigumbha in the clan of Hiranyakashipu, who was so powerful that Lord Vishnu himself had to be incarnate to protect his son Prahlada and to destroy this demon king. Now, coming to the 2 brothers Sunda and Upasunda, they were the best of friends who ate together, played together, and stayed together all the time. Then they decided to do tapas in order to conquer all the worlds. Sunda and Upasunda went to the Vindhya mountains, and there they started a life of severe ascetic penances. Earlier, as a result of his extremely severe and long-term penance, Hiranyakashipu had obtained such boons from Brahmadeva, by virtue of which it was almost impossible to kill him. Following the example of their great ancestor, Sunda and Upasunda also earned several boons from Brahmadeva, including great strength and knowledge of all weapons and warfare. And like Hiranyakashipu, they also asked for immortality, but this was denied by Brahmadeva. Then, as an alternative, they asked for this boon that they will not die at the hands of any of Brahmadeva's creations other than by themselves. Brahmadeva agreed to this condition and blessed them accordingly. Very soon, they conquered all 3 worlds, namely Martyalok, Devalok, and Patal-lok, or the netherworld. They found pleasure in killing and torturing the inhabitants of these worlds like Devas, Rishis, Siddhas, Yakshas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, and Rakshasas. Finally, all of them joined together and approached Brahmadeva and begged him to save them from Sunda and Upasunda. Brahmadeva meditated for a while and then summoned Vishwakarma, the master craftsman of this universe, to create a maiden who will captivate and conquer the heart of every male who looks at her. Thus was born the most beautiful female creation of all time. Vishwakarma had created her with particles of beauty obtained from each and every beautiful object of this universe. The equivalent of particle in Sanskrit language being Til, Brahmadeva named her Tilottama. That maiden of extravagant beauty and attraction bowed to Brahmadeva and politely asked him about the purpose of her creation, to which Brahmadeva replied that she should approach Sunda and Upasunda and tempt them both, and finally they should turn against each other for her possession. She should do all that is required to make them enemies to each other, and thereafter to make them fight and kill each other. Meanwhile, Sunda and Upasunda had conquered all 3 worlds, and there was nothing much left for them to keep themselves busy. So they spent their time enjoying their life with wine and women. It was in such a fully intoxicated condition that they saw the most beautiful and tempting form of Tilottama in front of them. In order to accomplish her mission, Tilottama also made use of all her charm and grace. With a single glance at Tilottama, Sunda and Upasunda ran towards her, and Sunda took her right hand and Upasunda caught her by her left hand. Both of them wanted the same thing. She is mine and mine alone. Leave her to me, and you go back, they shouted to each other. Finally, losing their patience, They fought with each other and inflicted such severe injuries on themselves so that, like the boon they had received from Brahmadev, their end came through their own hands. Once her mission had been successfully completed, Brahmadev asked Tilottama what boon she wanted. But she remained silent without asking for anything. Thereupon, Brahmadev blessed her with entry to the superior world of the Adityas. Rishi Narada told the Pandava brothers that they have been born on this earth to accomplish divine mission for the establishment of dharma, and as such, their unity should never be compromised for any reason. Now the Rishi concluded by asking the Pandavas to establish a system among themselves so that they would never have to face any problem with regard to their life with Draupadi. Thereupon, the Pandavas requested the Rishi to guide them in this matter. Accordingly, it was agreed that Draupadi will live with each of them for a period of 1 year. During this time, other four brothers should give due respect to their privacy and should not even come to the vicinity when they were together. To implement this condition, without even a chance of deviation, it was also decided that whoever happens to see Draupadi with her husband in seclusion should go on a 12-year-long pilgrimage observing the vow of Brahmacharya. In the divine presence of Rishi Narada, the Pandava brothers agreed to follow these rules and took an oath to this effect. And thereafter, blessing them in abundance, that Rishi rose to the skies and disappeared from their sight. The Pandavas then continued ruling their kingdom in peace and harmony, adding several neighboring kingdoms to their own without even waging a war, as no king or kingdom would attempt to enter into a battle with the Pandavas. They lived and ruled in a blissful manner, protecting their own kingdom as well as those kingdoms which were under them. Then one day, a Brahmin came and complained to Arjun that he cannot find his cattle and that they might have been stolen. Since theft and stealing were unheard of, Arjun said that he will get his weapons and join him within no time. While he was hurriedly going to the weapon room, accidentally, Arjun crossed the room where Yudhishthira was sitting with Draupadi. In a state of shock, Arjun realized that the system which they had set up in the presence of Rishi Narada has been broken, and now he has to go on a 12-year-long pilgrimage. Dear viewers, here ends this episode of our summarized rendering of Rishi Vedvyasa's timeless epic Mahabharata. Harihi Om.